Dude, how are these $20?
$20 wireless earbuds. Are they worth it? We're gonna find out. One of them is actually surprisingly good. One of them is, I wouldn't even chuck it in a Happy Meal. But we're gonna have a look today at these Lenovo LP1 and LP2 wireless earbuds to see if they're worth your cash and why you would spend anything more than 20 bucks if you can get these. Let's get into it. All right, straight up front, I was sent these by Banggood to review. They said, Cam, do you want to check out some cheap wireless earbuds? And I thought, no, I don't. I have headphones. But then I thought, actually, this would be pretty useful. I haven't checked out the budget range in a while because tech advances and better tech becomes cheaper, and therefore we can get now wireless earbuds with batteries and USB-C for around 20 bucks. That's just insane. So let's have a look at what you get in the box. There's no surprise that the boxes themselves are pretty basic. You're gonna get the headphones themselves in their charging case, the USB-C charge cable, and the instruction manual. Now you're gonna wanna hold into these manuals because they hold the secret of how the multifunction buttons work on these headphones. They're quite finicky, but you eventually get used to them and it makes some sense. Specs wise, they're both Bluetooth 5, but that's kind of where the similarities stop. The LP1s are 16 ohm, 20 milliwatt, 10 mil drivers, and the LP2s are 8 ohm, 3 milliwatt, 10 mil drivers, which pretty much means that the LP1s should be a lot louder than the LP2s, and they are. To even find out how loud they are, you have to get them out of the case, which is a mission and a half. They are so glossy that I found that I kind of need to like stick my thumb into the earbud to kind of like pry it out, because if you try and grab these and pull them out, it's not happening. They are like very slippery little suckers. Now the LP2 I have in the black colorway, you can also get them in the white. They feel much more premium. These feel like a better build. These feel like cheap plastic, but these, they don't really want to fit in my ears. Maybe I just got small ear holes, I'm not too sure, but they do not like sitting in. The problem is, when you try to adjust them, it's very easy to bump the multifunction touch buttons on the side. And those, very, very frustrating and finicky to deal with. Now you probably see headphones like these referred to as TWS, which is True Wireless Stereo. The two headphones have to pair with one another before then they can pair with your device and take a signal input. You pull them out of the headphones and you have to wait at least 5 seconds for the LP1s to pair and at least 10 seconds for the LP2s to pair. If it's successful, you'll hear them saying left channel pairing, right channel pairing, paired. Then you can then connect it to your phone. However, if you connect to one of the individual earbuds whilst it's in that sequence, then you have to turn them off, put them back in the case, pull them out again, and then try and repair. The problem here is that the turn them off and put them back in the case is stupid on one of them. The LP1s, it's okay. You hold down the multifunction button for at least 4 seconds, it'll power down. The LP2s, you have to tap the power button 4 times. Remember I said you need to hold on to these manuals? Yeah, because who the hell thought, I want to turn a device off, I'm going to tap the button 4 times, because that's what does it, not holding the power button down. Put them in your ears, you can tap either or, and that's going to play or pause music. A double tap on the right-hand side on the LP1s is going to put the volume up, and a double tap on the left-hand side will put the volume down. 3 taps on the right-hand side puts the next track, and 3 taps on the left-hand side puts the previous track. Double tap goes next track, double tap on the left goes previous track, and 3 taps goes volume up and volume down. That's how the tapping sequences work. Not really useful if you only got one earbud in. I would prefer having maybe tracks on one side and just doing the double tap for next, 3 taps for previous, that we're all being trained with wired headphones our whole lives to do. But that's kind of, I get it, intuitive. Next tracks, previous tracks. The problem is Google Assistant. According to the manuals, the LP1s trigger assistant with 1.5 second hold on a menu function button and 2 seconds for the LP2s. That doesn't seem right. It is way shorter than that. Like literally just picking them up and trying to put them in your ear, it'll trigger. I got my wife to try out the LP2s for a while, and the first thing she said, they're incredibly annoying because whenever they're kind of falling out of your ear and you try to readjust them, it triggers the Siri on her iPhone. And I was like, oh, that's strange. And I definitely confirm. I started researching online. Have other people found the same problem? And yes, there's many people saying that they find it way too touch sensitive. There's even a video of a guy pulling apart his LP1s to rip out the multifunction button just because it is so sensitive that he can't stand it triggering the assistant every time you adjust or put them in your ears. That wouldn't be so bad if it was just a little bit annoying because it got triggered. But the problem is when you trigger assistance from wireless earbuds, a lot of wireless earbuds, it triggers the volume of the ding or series blip noise at full volume. Yeah, you pretty much go partially deaf every time you try to adjust the fitting of these because you trigger assistance, and then at max volume, it just like pounds your eardrum with the ding to say that you've turned the assistant on. Actually, I want to try out something I did read online, and that is putting electrical tape over the side so it doesn't trigger that button. All right, I'll put tape on to see if it makes it less sensitive. Ah, dang it. It's like every couple of times it just goes full volume and does not care at all what volume setting you've got set. All right, so the volume button still works with a bit of electrical tape on there. I read a review, some guy said that kind of made it a little bit less sensitive. It may, but you shouldn't have to do that if a product was designed correctly. And when the battery goes flat, it like shouts at you, low battery. And before these went flat, it was like 10 seconds. So that warning's kind of useless. You may as well just go flat in general. Speaking of battery life, I got about just over an hour with the LP1s, and the LP2s, to be honest, I haven't listened to them for over an hour straight. They're so annoying and they keep disconnecting one side with the other that I already just discounted them as not worth buying. It is good to see USB-C on the cases because that's something that can be expensive to add on a budget piece of tech. The other thing to do with the cases is the indicator light for the LP1s is on the outside, which is awesome. So if you're charging them, it'll blink and it'll light up. However, with the LP2s, the charger is on the inside. So you have to leave them open whilst they're plugged in if you want to see when it's finished charging. Okay, so now for our latency test. We're going straight out of camera at the moment, so it should be 0 lag. If you're already watching this with Bluetooth headphones, I would switch to wired if you actually care about how much lag is introduced, because there's quite a bit on some of them. So here's a clap. That's our constant, that should be in sync. And now we're gonna switch over and watch through my Pixel 5 through the LP1s. Currently listening to the LP1s to the Pixel 5, and they have SBC Bluetooth encoding, which means there's a little bit of lag introduced between my voice and this clap, between the phone and you receiving it on the listener's end. Now you're listening to the LP2s transmitted from the Pixel 5 via AAC encoding. So it actually has a higher quality encoder, which should be a little bit less latency. However, it doesn't help it on the quality department. So here's a clap test. And that is the LP2s. Now I wouldn't try to pick apart the latency tests for audio quality because quality through a YouTube video, compression and all of that, nah, it's not going to happen. As far as microphone quality goes though, I did do some call tests. It has ENC, so environmental noise cancellation, which seems to kind of work. The quality is nothing fantastic, and even on higher end headphones, they're never that great.
All right, I've been trying to figure out this LP2 pairing business because I was shooting B-roll and I was like, man, I'll give them another chance, right? So you pull them out, you let them pair. Both said pairing, so they're in their pairing state. Oh, you got to be kidding me, they worked. All right, well, they've worked. I've tried this like 4 times now. They're so inconsistent. It's not even worth the effort though, it sounds atrocious. Oh, it's just not good. LP2s, no. It's like the bass is tidy, very clean, but there's not a lot of it. The mids, though, are just, they sound compressed. It just sounds really low quality. And the trebles, it's like, yeah, it's like screechy. It's just sound like really old, cheap headphones. I wouldn't even bother. It's painful to listen to. Like, it genuinely hurts my soul. Oh, dude, LP1s. These are just so well-rounded, the LP1s. The bass is heavy, like it's strong, but tidy. And any highs, they're not harsh. They're just so well-rounded. Oh, for the price, 20 bucks. Dude, how are these $20?
Mate, the fact that these LP1s are around, like you can get them for 20 bucks delivered from China is insane. Like quality in these is nuts. Obviously, as I've iterated so many times in this video, the touch sensitive is just stupid. If they had no touch sensitivity, these would be insane. These would be like an instant buy. But if you can just fiddle around with it, when I put them in my ears, my tip is to like grab them just like that so you don't touch the touch sensitive thing on the end, and then you can kind of like pinch them in, and that usually avoids bumping the button. These aren't that bad for the price, but there's just so many little negative things that make them not worth it. The LP2s definitely not worth it, but the LP1s, that little touch sensitive thing, if it wasn't there, it would be so much better. If they literally just had no touch sensitive and just let you put headphones in, that would be ideal. Maybe you could like put a stack of tape, but in the day you shouldn't have to put tape on it. All right, that's it. That's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, thumbs it. If you loved it, sub it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.